You are about to enter a space of ultimate football knowledge. From four guys with little to no actual football experience, except for armchair quarterbacking. Brace yourself for passion and knowledge like you have never seen. Welcome to the Football is King podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hopefully, you did not just hear silence like you did last week, and we did it right this time. And by we, I mean me, but I will be hosting us today. Welcome into the Football is King podcast. We are so glad to have you. We are here to talk about college football week number 5 this time, where we finally made it, y'all. We made it to the promised land of good college football is here. We are into conference play. No more cupcakes, except for Texas getting to play Mississippi State. But for the most part, Mississippi State, no matter how close the game is still a cupcake team. Sorry to all of our Bulldogs out there, but you're a cupcake.
They gave hope for one half of football.
Even Vandy is better than them this year, so
that's bad.
That's not good. That's not good. But we got lots of things to talk about this week. And we're gonna start off with the best game of the year so far, and it's not even close. Bama versus Georgia was nuts.
Instant classic.
Although instant classic, but also a game that I bet a bunch of people turned off at halftime.
Oh, I would love to see
that is the.
I would love to see the ratings graph of like, oh, it's way up here, way down here,
and then it's way
back up here. Yeah. And by that, I mean, I know for a fact that some people turned it off during halftime because I turned it off during halftime. And so did my father. But no.
Did you catch the end of it?
I rewatched it.
I did not catch the end of it. I was out all of like Friday and all of Saturday. I was away, and Sarah and I were having just like a nice little date evening, and I was ruining the date evening by watching the first half. And I was like, I'm kind of being a bad husband right now, but I got to host a podcast, so let me watch the first half of this game. And I was like, this is a freaking butt kicking. I will be a better husband, and I will turn it off, and we will continue our date day. And
that second half went crazy.
And then I got back on my phone and realized before we went to bed, I was like, just let me look at like all the things while Sarah's getting ready for bed. And I realized that Georgia was winning at one point, and I was like, oh, I missed a great second half.
For 13 seconds. They were winning for 13 seconds.
But it was way better to have a date day with my wife than to watch the second half of Bama versus Georgia.
Good job.
You just lied through your teeth.
I didn't. It was a great evening. I had a great time. We watched our show.
I missed the game.
Oh, I definitely
saw the scores.
Yeah.
I watched the scores, but I was at a wedding, so I missed the game.
Oh my gosh, these people!
Don't even start. I went to a wedding. You just went on a.
No. I'm not criticizing you. I'm criticizing the people having a wedding. We've been over this, people.
Yeah, Harley's brother had his wedding during primetime football season.
Hey, Ryan Williams
is a dog.
Unbelievable. Think about it this way.
And if you didn't know he was 17, you know now. It's a broadcast said it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah.
We are getting to watch. We're gonna watch this man for the next 15 years.
Kid.
And he's gonna be just an all-time great if he just plays out the way he plays.
That, or it's a very common phenomena happening in other sports in Europe right now that kids are playing way too high of a level at too young of an age, and he's going to get a bunch of injuries and get burnt out. Those are the two options. He's either going to be a Hall of Famer right away, or he's going to be a bust because he's going to be injured all the time.
Well, he's athletic.
He's going to kill them all like his eye thing does in true Alabama wide receiver fashion and end up in the penitentiary.
It's possible.
Well, Georgia much more likely to do that.
Yeah, it has.
Hey, but at 17, that is so crazy to think.
That catch when he spins and then he lands and then he spins again, it was the smoothest, it was the smoothest play I've seen.
But the 5-yard acceleration he had when the Georgia defender had a slight chance.
Yeah.
bolted.
Okay, I will be a little bit of a hater on this. I don't think that play was as good as everyone is talking
Dude.
about.
Oh,
No.
I
It's a
thought it was
great
awesome.
play.
Awesome play.
I'm not saying that it's not a good play. But people are talking about it being like the best play of all time. Like they were it was a little overhyped.
I think the
The dude is
through it.
quick. That kid is so quick.
Hey, the pass he had that got tipped up in the air, or the catch he had tipped up in the air, that was almost a better catch.
I like that play better than the first than the other one.
He's a highlight reel for sure.
Oh, great. He is pure entertainment. He is so fun to watch.
Like,
I just
6
think
catches for 177 yards is insane.
yeah, he's a monster. Can you imagine
17.
that kid? Can you imagine that
17
kid in Pee Wee football?
Oh,
No.
Can you imagine him in high school last year?
Yeah.
I just
He should be
pictured
in
him
high school this year.
I pictured him just being that kid that like played high school football, but like they didn't let him play because he was afraid he was going to get hurt. That's what I
Oh, I
imagined.
do.
They tried to put him at quarterback because he was the best athlete on the
No,
field.
I just imagine him like he played like his freshman and sophomore, or I guess just his freshman year. He was so good that Bama offered him and told him like, "Hey, just don't
Chill
play
out.
sophomore year
Yeah.
and then come to Bama," or however it was going to work. I just imagine like he was on like a pitch count so that he didn't get injured, kept himself kind of fresh, maybe played like 10 snaps a game, scored a touchdown on all 10 snaps, and then
No, I think he was. He almost set like every single Alabama State record. I think.
yeah, if that kid played actual high school football every
he
snap,
did.
he would destroy everyone. Like it would just not be he could just run by everyone.
Oh yeah.
Every play
No one's
could just
catching him.
every
he was doing it to
play.
Georgia.
Yeah, I was gonna say every play could just be, hey, quarterback, throw it as far as you can, and he'll go catch it.
And he's made so many. He's made like that. Not even just in the Georgia game, but he's made so many times. There's been two defenders that end up running into each other while he's juking them.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of quarterbacks, like Kellen DeBoer just made Jalen Milroe a NFL guy. Like, if you would have said
Milroe was always going to be the next NFL guy. The problem with Jalen Milroe last year was their center could not snap the football. And so on almost half of his dropbacks, he had to pick the ball up off the floor first. So his timing was terrible. So everyone thought that he couldn't be a pocket passer. Jalen Milroe, when he's at time, he's great. Jalen Milroe is great. He's Lamar Jackson light.
The second half, they kind of figured it. Like they stopped giving him space. It's almost like the first half they were trying to keep him from being a runner. In the second half, they were like, we can't even play like that. But it almost worked where they just played like press man coverage the entire second half. And then he really couldn't do a whole lot, though.
NFL defensive coordinators will figure him out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kirby actually figured it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they gave up 28 points like in the first 10 minutes of the game. So
yeah, Carson Beck was seeing ghosts in that first half.
Oh yeah.
Carson Beck, and then every time they look at him inside of his helmet on a face-on view, he looks like a small child playing.
He looks like
I think he's too
exactly like
flip-floppy.
That's exactly what I said. He does look like Case McCoy with the helmet on. They look the exact same.
He's too flip-floppy. He looks amazing one second and then terrible the next.
Well, that entire
like
first
Beavis
half,
and
he looked like
Butthead.
dog poop.
Yeah, but he looks good the second half.
He did look good the second half.
He looked good. I rewatched the game yesterday, and he looked great the second half. He just looked terrible.
I'm sorry, you can't win playing only a half of football.
But if you're Georgia, do you walk away from that game like kind of like you played the absolute worst half of football you could possibly play? And
no,
you should have won that game.
No,
that's not true. They played way worse against Kentucky.
Well, they didn't spot Kentucky 28 points.
Yeah, but if I'm Georgia, I'm not happy with that game at all.
You don't have to be happy about it.
You don't have to be happy, but your season's not over now.
No, but the season's not over, but it could be soon because Georgia has proved this whole year they cannot play two consecutive halves of football, and
they have to play Texas
at Texas.
Tennessee.
If you play at Texas like you did against Bama, you're not going to win that game either. Texas is a better football team than Bama is.
Oh, yeah, dude. They're really.
I do not. I am
agree with
so okay. You want to bring that up? Texas fans are the most uncontrollably stupid fans ever. They are arguing that they should be ranked number 1 in the country right now. They should not be ranked number 1 in the country. They keep
They
saying we
are
beat
ranked number
Michigan.
1 in the
We
country.
beat
No, they're number 2 now. Bama
Oh,
jumped.
they
Dude.
moved.
Yeah.
we beat Michigan. Michigan, yeah, you beat Michigan at the beginning of the first game of the year. They suck
Second.
at football. If you
I
think
told you USC ruined it by losing to Michigan.
They did.
So now Michigan is going to stay
100%.
ranked for the whole season. If
No,
USC would have beat Michigan, Michigan would not be in the top 25 anymore, and this wouldn't be a discussion.
yeah, but you can't seriously sit back and think that a win against Michigan is a better win than against Georgia.
Okay, I'm not saying that, Shane, but Texas is a freaking good football team. And
They're
if
really
Georgia,
good.
they are.
if Georgia plays a half of football like they did that first half against Alabama, they will die. Texas will obliterate them. Texas is going to score points.
Let's put it this way. If you go to any betting app right now and go to the Heisman odds, Texas has 2 quarterbacks in the top 20.
Yeah.
Well,
that's just asinine.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I think that Texas.
No, I think Arch Manning is a top 20
I think it's very
quarterback.
possible
I think
that
he's a top
Texas
10
has 2 of the
quarterback.
top 3 quarterbacks in the country.
They're playing with 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country. Hands down. Arch Manning's good, guys.
I think Arch Manning is good. He's also a true freshman. If they play Arch Manning the rest of the season, they are not winning national title.
He's not a true freshman. He sat
He's
last
a
year.
He's a red shirt.
Hey, you know who won the Heisman Trophy his redshirt freshman year? Jonathan Manziel.
Totally different.
Understand that.
That's totally different athletes.
I'm pretty sure
we've had
so did his uncle.
We've had 100 years that's happened twice.
Okay, but Shane, yes, they are totally different quarterbacks, but that doesn't mean that if you're a redshirt quarterback that you're not good. Arch Manning played a near perfect game against Mississippi State.
I totally agree. Arch Manning's a good quarterback, but what I'm saying is,
he's not a good quarterback. Arch Manning is a great college football quarterback.
Right now, Alabama is the better football team based on who they played than Texas is. No, I'm not saying Texas.
No. Those are different. Those are different statements. Alabama might have a better strength of schedule so far. That does not mean that they're a better football team.
I
think you play who you play.
No, I agree, but I truly, if they played today, I would take Alabama against Texas.
That was also not the point. My point was being, if you're Georgia, sure, maybe Alabama is slightly better than Texas, but it's not like a giant gap. It's a very close gap. So if you're Georgia and you go into Austin, Texas, and you play like you did in the first half, you're not going to win that game either. And now you got 2 losses on your schedule. And I know that a lot of teams are getting comfortable with this. Well, we lost 1. It's fine. There's a long time left in this season.
If Georgia had Texas' schedule except where they played Alabama, then it'd be fine.
But Georgia's schedule is brutal, and Georgia has still yet to put a full football game together.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that game was more important to Georgia because of the rest of the schedule.
Yeah.
Really was to even Alabama.
I'm starting to think, I don't know who Georgia's backup quarterback is. If I'm a Georgia fan, if that guy is any good, I'm thinking about it.
I agree
Carson
with that.
Beck's not it. He's not it. He has proven multiple times that he is just he falls apart.
Gunnar Stockton.
Give me Gunnar Stockton. Let's see it.
Gunnar, that is the most Georgia.
I don't think they're leaving him.
Hey, I'll say this: Carson Beck, as Georgia standards go, is a proven loser.
If you would give
Carson Beck,
yes, he's a proven loser.
2 games now.
2 games in his life.
Yeah, but the 2 games in college football,
He's lost to Alabama twice.
I'm just saying, I can see where Shane's going with this. In college football, Carson Beck is not a winner. The team might win, but it's not Carson Beck that's the winner.
I also don't think Georgia normally Georgia has. You feel like they got some weapons on offense. They do not have that this year.
No, they don't.
They don't have a wide receiver that.
They don't.
I do like their running back room a lot.
Running back room is good.
If they can't run the ball, and it's all on Carson Beck's shoulders,
I'm not betting on him any day of the week.
But think about like Stetson Bennett, right? He had if all else fails, they had some good wide receivers as well.
But
But
Brock Bowers is a monster.
Brock Bowers and Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring like Texas in the. I would put a game on Arch and Quinn's back and say.
Well, also you look at Texas's weapons, and Alabama's are way ahead. They're light years ahead of Georgia's weapons.
Oh yeah.
Texas might have the best wide receiver room in the country.
I think it's them or probably them or Alabama. I think Alabama's.
I think Ryan Williams is the best wide receiver overall.
Him or that kid from Ohio State.
That's true. I forgot about him. But still, like, I mean, Texas has 3 wide receivers that are pretty much unguardable.
Must be a nice problem to have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the A&M wide receivers in a bit because
they might be bad.
They might be real bad.
Something's bad. Don't know what it is.
I will say this: I would love to have Kirby Smart as my coach.
Oh.
The halftime adjustments made, like that's what you need to know right there, that he's a good coach.
No, he's a good coach.
Second half, just
he's the
absolutely
best college football.
He takes away Alabama entirely on offense and defense. The only reason why they lose that game is because Ryan Williams makes an amazing play. That's a singular, like that is a player making a good play. That was not the scheme of Kalen DeBoer. Like it was just
a 17-year-old player at that.
It was a 17-year-old making a heck of a play, making 2 guys run into each other and look stupid.
And then an 18-year-old getting a game-saving pick.
Hey, can I?
That was a bad throw.
It was a bad throw.
That was a bad throw. But you want to talk about
being a loser.
You want to talk about being a good coach. Before that play was over.
Yeah, he said how many timeouts we got.
He said how many timeouts I got, and he was like, we're not done. We're gonna play this out. We're gonna try.
See, but it's those types of plays that he has made consistently in Georgia terms that make me say he's a proven loser. He's not.
Carson Beck is not in my top 10 quarterbacks in college football.
No, heck no.
Here's the thing, though. At Georgia, you don't need a top 10 quarterback.
This year, I think they do. I think that the other competition is so stiff that they do need a top 10 quarterback.
100%. I would agree with that. But like last year, Carson Beck, if they make the playoffs, there's a solid chance we're talking about Georgia being a national title and Carson Beck being the quarterback of that team.
I agree. I also don't think that Stetson Bennett was like an amazing quarterback either. But that team was so stacked.
That's what I'm saying is Kirby's made it very known. He doesn't need a top 10 quarterback to win a title.
But this year he does.
I think that going forward, you're going to –
because Alabama looked – I mean, let's just call it what it is. Alabama and Texas are the 2 best teams, hands down, not even close. It's not close.
I think Georgia's close.
I think Georgia's close as well. I didn't watch.
I think Georgia's close, but like that's what I'm saying is these two. So Alabama and Georgia go down to the wire.
I think if that game's in Athens, then Georgia wins.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that does affect it. Like you're talking Georgia could be sitting right now at number 1.
Oh yeah,
easily.
But Carson Beck has to make a throw, and he can't make the throw.
He made
a lot of
right through,
but he can't.
Great throws.
Hey, this is Justin Herbert syndrome y'all got right now. He can make the throws all day long until that throw in the 4th quarter. That's what y'all are Josh Allen syndrome.
Yeah, but
it's a thing. Why is Patrick Mahomes so great? He sucks for 3 quarters, but in that 4th quarter, he clicks on.
What how many interceptions did he throw? That one?
But he threw the one.
He threw 2.
But
he threw one in the first half.
The one in the first half though was the wide receiver's fault. It was clearly a wide receiver screen, and the wide receivers tried to block instead of running the screen.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault.
That one, it blew my mind that the commentators were like lambasting Carson Beck for that throw. That was the most obvious. I'm throwing a screen, and the wide receiver didn't try to catch it.
He said, "Oh shit, that was to me."
That would be like
was supposed to be
that
blocking?
would be like if they were criticizing Deshaun Watson for the pick that hit Amari Cooper straight in the chest. Like
right
it was that bad.
We love to criticize
I just
Deshaun.
think I will criticize Deshaun Watson all day. I just don't think Carson Beck has the clutch gene.
Deshaun
And
did.
now more than ever, college football it's not evening it out, but there's more good teams.
There's more good teams.
There's more elite teams. But now the gap is actually growing between those elite teams and those lower teams.
Yeah, we're starting to see that.
Yeah.
Like
NIL is a problem.
significantly.
Have we even talked about the NIL stuff? Did we talk about the
UNLV
guy last week? I don't even remember. If we
which
did
is
that.
so funny because
I don't know if he did himself a favor.
I don't think he
because
did at all.
Their backup came in and he looks better than him.
Yeah, they played way better. They're
4-0, baby.
And now there's a rumor that he obviously it's he said, she said, but the rumor is that he was going to get benched because he was playing like they were winning, but he wasn't playing good.
He was under 50% completion percentage, I'm pretty sure.
I think
That's really bad for college football.
It was like 38% completion.
Unless you play for like Army or Navy. Like that's real bad.
He was a running quarterback, and the rumor was he essentially knew he was about to get benched, so he just said, "Hey, I'm out. They didn't pay me my money. And then
swing for the fences, I guess, man. If you're gonna get cut or like benched, you might as well swing for the fences.
Well,
the kid they played this week looked a hell of a lot better than Sluva Boncic.
This is gonna sound completely
Boncic.
asinine. I understand this as it comes out of my mouth. But his people around him are not very smart. To leave a school hoping for someone else to pick you up and pay you over $100,000. I get it. $100,000 is good money, but over $100,000, that doesn't go that very far in Kamala's.
I would actually argue that was smart of him.
Yeah. Really?
Because he's not going to the NFL. If he thinks he can get $100,000 out of somebody,
get that money.
Take it.
Take that money.
But did you see why would you stay and sue the smithereens out of the collective?
Because you had nothing to stand for. It was a verbal agreement.
It's a verbal agreement.
There's no write anything down, dude. He's just an idiot.
Contract.
Okay, so it goes to my point. The people around him are very smart.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy thing is before this weekend, when he announced he was leaving, or he was done, a casino owner that is also a booster at UNLV went on Twitter and said, $100,000, I'll give you $100,000 not to sit out. And he didn't take the money out of principle. Well, now he's not getting that money. He could have just said, okay, deal. Shake the hand, take the $100,000 from the casino owner. And
he had a problem with the coaches. Now the benching thing makes way more sense.
It makes more sense.
What
are the odds another school gives him 100 G's? What are the odds he gets it somewhere else?
He's not going. I don't think he would get it. It's like a marketing thing, right? It's like if some small school thinks, oh, this kid's getting $100,000, and then we offer him whatever, and he comes to me, we think we got this great quarterback because these other schools are offering $100,000. The Colorado State quarterback tried the exact same thing last year. I think god awful, and he was telling people he was getting $600,000 offers, and he was staying at Colorado State because he loves Colorado State.
I think if he is, I haven't watched enough of his tape. If he's that good of a runner, though,
he's a great runner.
Then someone will pay him the money. Maybe not $100,000, but he'll make some cash off somebody. Shoot. Go to Army or Navy, man. Start running that triple option. Let's see what happens.
Who pays him there? Our tax dollars?
Our tax dollars.
Bro, speaking of Army, Navy, do you guys realize that they could play for a conference championship and then turn around and play the very next week the Army-Navy game, and then the winner of that conference champion could also be in the playoff?
Yeah.
Isn't it possible that they play in the regular season and then also play that Army-Navy game?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're in the conference together, and they're leading the conference. They could play for a conference championship.
I believe I have both of them in a money line parlay this weekend.
They're really freaking good.
I'm doing the Armed Forces money line parlay for as long as I can. As long as it keeps winning, I'm going to keep throwing it down.
They're throwing the ball. It's crazy.
It's great. I think one of them plays Air Force this weekend, and Air Force sucks. So I'm feeling pretty good about that leg of the parlay. I can't remember. I think it's Army that plays Air Force.
Guys,
I
I'll be
was
right
gonna
back.
take them
Yeah.
as one of my bets, but I didn't know. I was gonna do some research. Do the armed forces usually play each other pretty tight? That was my skepticism there.
Yeah, but it's always going to be the team that one of the teams they play the same style, so one of the teams is going to be better than the other, and they're going to
That's
dominate.
true.
All right, let's get to the fun part of today's episode. Y'all, I think the podcast almost broke up this weekend over the Miami Virginia Tech Fail Mary 2.0. It was we had a fun debate about whether or not it was a catch or not. And I think I'm the only person that was on team. It clearly wasn't a catch.
No, I'm not necessarily on team. It wasn't a catch. I'm on team. The refs are guessing. They're calling it a touchdown. And was there an angle that you could see on the TV that made you think it wasn't?
Yes, the one from behind that they showed at the beginning and then never kept showing, where you could see the ball bounce and he wasn't in control of it when he hit the ground. But then they just looked at it from straight ahead for like the whole time.
And you couldn't see the ball at all.
But see,
But
that's
don't-
my thing. This is the same thing that happens all the time and it drives me insane. We don't always get to see the views for the replay camera. There are some views that the refs get to see in the replay that we don't see, and I hate that.
Why? Why that makes? If you want transparency, let us see the views.
It's because they probably don't want transparency because, Buffalo Wild Wings called in and said, hey, no catch.
My
think-
issue with it was really that they called it a touchdown initially, and they somehow found something to overturn it.
The calling it a touchdown initially was horrific.
It was just a guess.
Yeah, I'm with Darius Butler on that. He immediately tweeted out like, "How did this ever get called a touchdown? The ball was like bouncing around constantly."
It should be. I guess. I don't know how you play it though. I mean,
The ball was on the ground, so that should have been called no touchdown, and then there was no.
But if you call it that way, there's going to be people pissed off that way too.
No, but the problem was if they had called it that way, the ball was literally on the ground. We would have seen that there's no way they can say it was a touchdown. But the problem was
that's true.
they
That's
called
true.
it a touchdown, and they said there's no way we could tell that it's not a touchdown.
It was one of those
It's
where
not a touchdown.
it was one of those that they didn't show us the camera angles that they probably had that were conclusive, but they didn't show us. So then the
That could
world
be.
thinks it's a conspiracy of just it's one of those where no matter what they would have called it, it should have stood because we didn't get a good camera angle. I still think that the one from behind shows that it wasn't a catch.
I didn't like the ACC's explanation of it either because they were like, well, there was an out of bounds guy touching the ball. It was in the other guy's possession. So I'm like, okay, cool. So anytime a defender is anywhere near the out of bounds line, stand on that line and just touch the ball.
That's never going to happen though because the
Yeah.
defender's always coming from the inside. What I don't understand,
They're playing outside defense here.
what I don't understand is if you're on the defensive side, why do you not just bat the ball backwards? Bat it backwards, bat it out of bounds. What are we doing? Like, because teams have now figured out for the Hail Mary, like, hey, leave one guy short because the teams that bat it are going to bat it forward. It's just like I can't remember what team did it this weekend on an onside kick because onside kicks are now impossible. The guy just hit it over his head out of bounds. He didn't even try to catch it. He just went, boop.
They should do that every single time.
They should do that every time on a Hail Mary. They should just be punching the ball backwards. They shouldn't be even try. I don't know why or how. We're still in 2024 and defenders are trying to catch the ball on a Hail Mary. It drives me insane.
They get so in love with the idea of getting an interception, and then something stupid happens.
Yeah.
Bounce off their hands and into the hands of an offensive guy. Touchdown.
Yeah.
And then you lose the football game.
And then you lose the football game, except for Miami got to win this time. I don't understand the whole everyone being like, well, the ACC wants a team in the playoffs or whatever. They're going to get a team in the playoffs regardless.
Presumably, but if James Madison stays undefeated and
no, isn't it the top four? Isn't it the top four power conference champions?
So it'd have to be a Big 12 team. Wait, what is it? I thought it was the 5 highest conference champions or whatever.
Correct. So they're going to be one of the 5 highest conference champions.
Most likely, yes, but there could be a
Oh,
scenario.
I thought it was automatically a SEC,
Nope.
ACC.
Not matter the conference. If a Sun Belt team is the conference champion and they somehow are a top 10 team, they are in.
Shane, you would know this if you played NCAA 25 or whatever that game is played, because on every career mode thing or dynasty that I've done, every year the number 4 seed is someone weird like Liberty or whatever, and it makes no sense because there's no way that even if they were undefeated that they would be ranked that high.
Yeah, so there's no way. It has nothing to do with the conference. If the SEC somehow was a gauntlet, everyone walked out 8-4, the Sun Belt Conference champion could technically be in it over them.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
I
think Clemson is going to actually be the ACC champion and be highly ranked. They looked bad against Georgia, but Clemson looks all right.
It's either them or Miami for sure.
Them or Miami, like they're going to win enough games.
Do they play each other?
That's a good question.
Do
I
they,
know Clemson plays Florida State this weekend.
Yeah, they're going to beat them by 150.
Hey,
I'm actually kind of afraid.
They do not play each other
I am afraid that Clemson loses to Florida State and ruins the ACC.
because they're bringing Brock Glenn. Is that his name?
No, just because it's in Tallahassee. They're coming off of a hurricane. They got a lot to play for. Clemson, they look good, but also
DJ Utombe sitting down.
they're the
DJ's
dinosaurs.
He's not benched, but he's hurt.
I think it's a conspiracy. I think it's
you're right.
nice way of saying he's benched.
You can't go to SMU and get beat by 40.
No. I think they owe him, they're paying him a lot of money and they're trying to save face, and he's benched.
That's fair, because it was like supposedly a broken finger, and they were like, we don't know how long he'll be out.
Yeah.
So forever. He'll be out forever.
It's going to be the longest rehab assignment for a broken finger.
You broke your pinky, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's not even on his throwing hand.
Yeah.
I hope he saves some money. That's all I know. I hope he saves some money.
The other thing I wanted to say about the Miami Virginia Tech game is, where has this Virginia Tech been all year? This is what they were supposed to be all season long.
And they kind of took the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, their quarterback finally played like he was supposed to. The team was great. They hung with a really
how long
good
has that
Miami
guy
team.
been coaching at Virginia Tech too? Has he been there for?
Who is it? Fuente?
Oh, it's not that. I don't know. Is it not the guy? Maybe I was watching a video of.
You're thinking about Beamer? He was there like Beamer retired like a decade ago.
Oh, okay. I just saw a video and I was like, is this guy seriously still coaching at Virginia Tech?
Oh, it's Brent Pry.
What does he look like?
Kind of looks like that guy.
Yeah, that's who I thought. Hadn't he been there forever?
I think this is like his second year or third year.
Oh.
Justin Fuente was coaching there.
So, for some reason, I thought he's been there for like 20 years. I was like, gee whiz, is this guy ever going to get fired?
Maybe his third year.
Hey, right now, A&M has the 17th best odds to make the playoffs.
We're number 1 in the SEC right now.
So there you go.
Yeah,
all right. Speaking, let's go to the SEC.
Doesn't get talked about enough, I must say.
Let's talk about the SEC because that's where life is. It just means more. There's only one place to start in the SEC this week, and that's with Ole Miss.
Get your money.
Come on, Lane Kiffin. What are we doing, man?
Their offense is horrible.
Their offense looked atrocious. Kentucky's defense is insane. They're real good.
I don't think Kentucky's getting any love either.
Because their offense is bad.
And they got
killed
by South Carolina by like 20, 30 points.
Yeah,
but their defense is fun to watch. They will hit you in the mouth.
But isn't this like, I hate to say it for Ole Miss people, but like, this is who Lane Kiffin is. Like, this is a Lane Kiffin season. Like, you get all these expectations and you're going to lose a game or two that you shouldn't lose and you're not going to win nothing. And
yeah, but the thing is, can they still make the playoffs because their schedule is so easy? No, they still have to play Georgia. Never mind.
Well, if they played like they played against Kentucky, they'll get slaughtered by 50.
Georgia should stomp Ole Miss. It shouldn't be close.
Their defense didn't play that great. I mean, Kentucky was going on 10-minute drives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad.
It wasn't like Kentucky scored a bunch, but they were going on 10-minute drives.
And then Ole Miss has a chance to at the end, but that was the worst last kick ever. As soon as he kicked it, you knew it was not in. It was
He
like,
did that.
oh, all right.
He did that to us too. App State. That's the guy that made the kick.
I know that.
Terrible
I mean, I think that game was on ESPN. They did him dirty before he kicked it. They
Yeah,
were like,
he
0
deserved
for 1 in game-winning kicks was at A&M and lost to App State. And I was like, oof.
that kick. Like, I don't even know how he did that. He kicked the middle of the ball.
Oh, I know how he did it.
He kicked the middle of it.
His plant leg was probably faced a little bit to the left, and his follow through was atrocious, and so he was hooked.
Yeah, that sucker went just straight left, right off the foot.
Yep, it was just he kicked it like a soccer ball. You could tell. You could literally see the curve of it, and you're like, "Well, he's a soccer player. That's how he kicks the football."
How many
football.
kickers do college teams usually carry with them? Because I'm sure he won't be kicking after this week.
Probably 3 of them.
Oh, dude, but those other two are so bad.
Yeah,
I
that's
guarantee you, those other two are so bad.
College kickers in general are bad.
Yeah, that's why when you get a good one, it's
except for now.
Yeah, but the offense thing was Ole Miss's offense had a chance. Like, didn't they have 3 plays to gain several yards? And
they decided Ole Miss decided just like they decided they were in field goal range and kind of ran like 3 run plays at the end, and it was still a long field goal. Like I was like, hey, you don't want to try to get a little bit closer?
Wasn't it 48 yards or something like that?
Yeah, it's like I get that you have faith in your kicker, but like let's make it a 30-yard field goal, not a
that didn't make no
50-yard
sense.
field goal.
Never trust the kicker.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like Michael Lombardi quotes, which is like, what is a manageable kick? Like, let's always get it closer. Like, why are we settling for manageable kick? Let's get it closer.
You should
especially in college football.
I never understand the just settling. It's like always get it as close as you can.
Yeah.
And especially college, get it in the middle of the field.
That too.
Don't be
the hash marks. Let's talk random college football rules that just piss me off for no reason. Why are the rules not the same as they are in professional football?
I was actually thinking about that this weekend.
Everything should be the same. Why are the hash marks so wide? It sucks. It's annoying.
That's an easy fix too. Just make them thinner.
Put the hash marks where they're supposed to be. We already fixed the clock rules now, which I will say I am officially against because it's clear that there's just more commercials. It's just more commercials, so screw you, college football, for that. But fix the clock rules, fix the hash marks.
Why are the hash marks even wider? It makes it more difficult.
It's for offense. It's so that there's more space on offense.
But one side of the whole field is lost.
Yeah, but they make it to where you can put Ryan Williams one-on-one on the other side of the field.
Yes, I bet.
And then it's just like, yeah.
It does look crazy when you see a college kicker kicking like a 30-yard field goal. They're so far outside.
Yeah, if you're really close, like it's a hard kick. You gotta like angle your body like Young Ho Koo so that you just hook it in there.
And the other thing is like, you're supposed to be developing these guys to play in the NFL. So why? Once again, why are the rules different?
Forget if you have a body part hit the ground, it's dead. No, you got to be touched to be down. Why are the rules different?
I think it should be 2 feet in for a completion. Like all of it, just make it uniform. I actually shocked sometimes, like when there's a rookie wide receiver in the NFL and they're on the sideline, like for their first or so catch of their career, that they even think to double toe tap. You know what I mean?
I bet in training camp or like rookie mini camp,
sure.
I bet it is just drilled into them. I bet they do that drill all day. And I bet defenders have to do the go touch them all day long.
For sure.
That's true.
And the teams that don't are the Giants and the Jags and those kind of teams. But the good teams with good coaches are like, this isn't college ball. Let's go over all the rules. We're going to do drills just to practice all day long.
But they shouldn't have to do that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's like that famous clip that came out of like Julio Jones teaching wide receivers how to like run their routes towards the sidelines when he was in Atlanta. I mean, Julio Jones was a genius and a great wide receiver, but like he was talking to them about how they should space out their steps so that their feet were correct to drag the sidelines, and it's like I would have never thought that that's how they would run their route, to where like they took short steps there and then big steps here and then short steps again. Like it was like guy was a genius and a monster in college football and professional football.
Yeah, he was.
All right, other things that happened in the SEC this weekend. Texas struggled with Mississippi State in the first half. And then, I mean, they struggled. They shot themselves in the foot. Arch Manning basically played a perfect game. And they only scored 35 points.
He had that long incompletion where the guy it was right in his hands.
One guy dropped a 70-yard touchdown. They had like 3 fumbles by their running backs. One of them was in the red zone. Like this game easily should have been like 50-something to 6 or whatever the final score was.
I was a little concerned with the post-game press conference with Sark telling national TV that he ate Arch's ass before the game. That was a little concerning.
Oh, he pulled a nice Chuck Pagano.
Yeah. He said, I still had to eat his ass before the game, though, and started laughing. I was like, wrong words, buddy. You should not say that on national
That
TV.
wasn't the word you were looking for.
It's chew his ass out is what you're looking for.
I thought the more shocking part was the Mississippi State offense was able to move the ball. Like they didn't score, but they did move the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it was another situation where it was like, I think part of the reason Texas didn't score as much is they were going on like long, drawn out drives.
Yeah, I think this game was a classic. The team knows that even if they play their C game, that they're gonna win easily.
Oh yeah,
they're looking ahead. They got their bye week, and then Oklahoma. The guys,
Georgia immediately after that.
The guys just weren't taking this game serious enough.
I agree.
And it showed, and they were sloppy. And
Texas has had that problem for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's the the concerning part is we've talked about that to nauseum with Texas is they play to their opponent, and maybe a Mississippi State ain't gonna catch you off guard, and beat you, but you do that to the wrong group of people, and you're gonna get beat and be sitting there. What happened?
You do that to like LSU, you got issues.
Yeah.
Or South Carolina.
Yeah.
A&M almost found out with Arkansas.
That game is always such a weird game, though. It's just always such a weird game.
That game, the A&M Arkansas game, was just basically 2 identical teams playing each other. 2 quarterbacks that really can't throw the ball very well, but they can run like crazy. 2 defenses that are pride themselves on physicality and like stopping the run.
Yeah, their D-line is good.
But both teams trying to establish the run, and then A&M is just the better team. But I would say our style of play is very similar to Arkansas.
I don't disagree, and I think Marcel's struggling, but Colin Klein has got to call a play to do something.
I'll say Marcel's struggling, but also
our
receivers are never open. The only one that ever gets any separation is Noah Thomas occasionally.
Yeah, and sometimes Cyrus Allen, a couple plays he's had, but there's never, like, you watch every other college football game, there are receivers running wild.
Yeah.
Wide open. We never have that.
What happened to Moose?
Moose is dead. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Collins – I honestly think we got sold a bag of goods that is not that good with Colin Klein. Like
I don't think it's that. I really think we're really bad at recruiting receivers. This has been a problem for years now.
But
the receivers are bad.
The crazy part is we have these 5-star dudes and they just are trash.
It's college football. You should be able to have someone get open against these.
Never mind. It might not be the receivers. We might not be good at developing receivers. Our wide receiver coach, if he's been the same guy, needs to get fired.
I'm pretty sure it's a new one now.
Well, he might still need to be fired.
I think Colin Klein, something's got to change with the whole, we're not putting our quarterback who is struggling throwing the ball in position to be successful. The one time he did, it was 1st and 10 on the 1-yard line in the 4th quarter. They finally ran a play where Marcel was
Yeah.
running out. And
It was
guess
great.
what? He threw the ball 10 yards, first down.
Yeah, it was great. That was a great play call. It was fantastic.
But that's the one time we do that in the game. The other times we put ourselves in 2nd and 10, we run the ball right up the middle, we get 2 yards, and we're in 3rd and 8. That happened 6 possessions in a row at least.
Yeah, our drives were very constant. We were texting this in our group chat of just like, all right, first down, incomplete, second down, dive up the middle for 2 yards. Now it's 3rd and 8, incomplete pass punt. There you go. That was the
thing.
Texas A&M offense.
He's young. He doesn't have a lot of experience. You got to help the dude out. What we don't run, and when I feel like when we're throwing the ball, he's looking for a 20-yard gain at the play call. And Marcel too. But it's like, dude, what's wrong with even a 4-yard little out route? Like, just catch the ball. That's all.
With Marcel Reed, he needs to either be under center or in the pistol for that to work, where you still have the run game available, but play action is going to be great for him.
Yeah,
he
we should
doesn't
be
need to
running
be in
play action
shotgun
every time.
play.
It should be in.
I love our team for being a team that establishes the run. I think every team should try to establish the run early, and then that makes it easier for your quarterback to throw the football out of play action.
We just couldn't. We were running the wrong sequence of plays, is what I thought.
Yeah, and then I hate always being in shotgun and that evolution of football.
I hate running the same run play over and over again too. Like, even mix that up a little bit.
Well, that was my other thing. It's like, can we get him out in some space or something?
Yeah, give me Marcel. I'm telling you, if we can go single back, develop the run a little bit early, and then just keep giving Marcel Reed naked boots, our passing game will be electric.
That's what I kept wanting. I was like,
except for our wide receivers will still always be covered because they can't run a route to save their life.
Yeah, but then Marcel can run for 4 yards and go out of bounds, whatever.
Hey, still top of the SEC though.
Yeah,
still top of the SEC.
Take a screenshot.
You can't
of it right now.
You're winning.
I think this weekend we will learn a lot about.
I mean, if we can survive this weekend.
If we survive this weekend,
we got a nice little stretch until Texas comes to town.
Here's what's gonna end up happening. We're gonna go undefeated till Texas, and then we're gonna end up playing Texas in the SEC championship game.
No, it's not gonna happen. We are either gonna lose to LSU or South Carolina if we.
I would agree with that. We do it every year. I mean,
if we beat Mizzou, there's gonna be a game. It's either gonna be at Mississippi State, at home against LSU, or at South Carolina. One of those is a guaranteed loss.
Okay, but if we beat Mizzou, next week's podcast, expect a lot of ball hanging going on because this group might be feeling pretty good about themselves if we beat Mizzou.
If we went 10-2 somehow,
then we're in the playoffs.
First year, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the playoffs if you go 10-2.
Probably. The problem is we don't have any good wins
I
necessarily.
would like to, as much as possible, avoid the SEC championship game.
I don't know how they can even decide. There's going to be so many teams there's going to be 4 teams that are 11-1. I swear.
They're going to be flipping a coin in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Bama, Georgia, Texas. No, it won't be Georgia.
It's somehow going to happen. I don't know how.
It'll be Tennessee, Alabama, Texas.
I guess if Georgia beats Texas, then that would be it.
Yeah.
No, because Ole Miss is gonna not be 10-1 because they're gonna lose to Georgia and
it's gonna be some trash situation is gonna pop up where there's 4, 10, and 11-1 teams. What they need to do is just get rid of that SEC championship game. Just make it a regular season award somehow. Even then, I don't know how you decide it, but it makes the game pointless anyways.
I mean, it's real easy. Just play 9 games, split it up into East and West again.
I agree.
Fine. Be super easy.
Just play no one out of your. I mean, play one team out of your division.
I don't think you would even have to play East versus West. I think it would just be all West.
Well, if you move to 9 conference games, which I think they should do.
Okay.
You play one team.
Yeah, and it just rotates every 8 years. You play whoever.
Hey, I have an idea, guys. We should split off regionally, and maybe like Oklahoma, A&M, Texas, throw in Baylor, Texas Tech, Kansas State. Maybe they should make a conference.
Maybe
that would be a wild idea.
We should combine everything and then split off in divisions that are just called like the Big 12, Big 10. That'd be hilarious.
Maybe the Southwest Conference, bring it back.
Yeah, do that.
Except for A&M is not in the Southwest Conference, but
I feel like we are moving to a point where we're going to end up with that, where it's like by the time this is all said and done, we're going to be every team's going to be in one league. We're going to have divisions that are just the old conferences.
Yeah, we're gonna be
We're gonna
right
call
back
it
where
something
we
different.
started. Yep, we'll be right back where we started.
there is a chance, I think it's getting there, that we do the Swiss League model style, which I think it brings relegation into it, and I think it would work, and it would be great.
I was reading something yesterday, and I don't know what this even is, but I just saw something got introduced with it's like College Football Super League.
I think we're getting there. I think we're getting close to where we can do the mega conference and we can do the relegation style, and it would be great.
Yes, the College Student Football League, and it's two rich dudes. I can't remember who it is. I think it's an NFL owner and somebody else are going to create a league where there's 64 teams, and it sounds like they're talking about relegation with the group of 5 teams or whatever.
Okay, see,
Okay.
I'm in for that, and because let's be honest, with a 12, if you're the SEC, the Big 10, the ACC, even or the Big 12, well, I mean, this doesn't truly work, but like, especially the Big 10 and the SEC, the conference championship is not the end all be all anymore. It's not. It's helpful, but it's not.
The conference championship?
Yeah, the conference
Yeah.
championship for a lot is just now a plastic trophy.
Yeah,
It's bigger still for the small conferences, but for like the SEC, Big 10.
It's big for the teams that don't normally win it.
yeah.
Like Texas last year winning the Big 12 was a big deal because they'd only won 3 of them. But Alabama doesn't care about winning the SEC championship game. They've won it 1,000 times.
And neither does Georgia.
Neither does Georgia. But like,
I think they should change it to the 4th and 5th team because that could mean a playoff spot.
but if A&M made the SEC championship game, we would freaking care more than any other team had ever cared before in life.
Yeah, you catch me there. I'll be spending my hard-earned money to be there. Believe me, if we go to the SEC title, that's gonna be a big deal.
Oh yeah.
But
the
but problem right now is, majority of the time, it's the same teams play each other in it every year, and they don't really care. They only care because it used to help them out for the playoffs.
It does turn out big games usually.
Yeah.
Last year's Georgia-Alabama game was pretty good.
I mean, I don't think it's the SEC championship game that's good. I just think that Georgia versus Alabama is a good game.
Maybe so. And maybe just football's good, but
maybe football is great.
I just think going forward, it maybe we won't see it in 3 years, but past that, I think there's going to be people sitting out of conference championships, main players to gear up for the playoffs.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
possible.
I believe that too.
Okay. Should we start respecting Penn State or no?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Every year. They do this every year.
They do. That's exactly what I wrote down on the script. Was they do this every year, and probably the first good team they play, they will lose.
When they play Ohio State, I think they play Ohio State here shortly. They will get
this week. They play UCLA, which they will dominate.
3 weeks they play Ohio State.
They play USC coming up, but USC really is, in my opinion, struggled with the physicality of the Big Ten. They won this weekend, but it was not pretty against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wisconsin. They played either Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, they play Minnesota, I think, this week. They play Ohio State in 4 weeks. Oh, they play Ohio State when we're in Shreveport.
Oh,
I hope they're both undefeated. That'll be great.
They'll both get fun. And say we get beat by 50.
Hey, what's the deal with this is backtracking, but is Sam Pittman, is he handicapped or something like that? Why can't he walk?
He's saying that he's got a little girth to him. Have you seen that picture of him with the boosters? I'll show you. This is a funny picture.
I didn't know if it was just a diabetes or something happened to him.
I mean, look at the chest on this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Man, I did not realize this,
Jerry Jones,
I'm
that's
just checking
how
out.
his interview went. He was fondling them and asking him what he could do with them.
I'm just now checking things. I did not realize that Michigan is a top 10 team right now. They have
Oh
been
yeah.
ranked number 10. That's
Can we
hilarious.
talk about the fact they almost kind of should have lost this past weekend?
Yeah, they're bad.
The refs calling that offsides on that onside kick was terrible.
Yeah.
So, what is it going to take for people to realize that they're not a good football team?
Once they play Ohio State.
I think everyone kind of knows, Shane.
Yeah. Well, the AP voters don't know because they got them ranked 10th.
The AP voters are idiots.
Hey, Tone Diggs is an AP voter now.
No, only for the NFL awards though. I think he bets on college.
Okay. Well, we're going to be in Shreveport. The games that we have are Ohio State, Penn State, which hopefully they're both still undefeated. That'll be fun. Tennessee, Kentucky, which should be good because Kentucky's defense might hang around. Oregon, Michigan, which if they're both winning their games, that'll be a top 10 matchup.
I think that'll tell more about Oregon than Michigan.
A&M, South Carolina could be good. That's it. That's pretty much it for the top 25. But, not too bad. Not too shabby.
Look, Blake, y'all and you, Austin, you just I was already in the point of my football season where reality was hitting me stone cold in the face that it was going south. And you guys just got me hyped up again because if we beat Mizzou, it's all.
If we beat Mizzou, we're in business.
Yep.
That loss to Notre Dame is just going to be a killer at the end of the year. It's going to hurt so bad.
It's a game we shouldn't lost.
But also, I am already prepared for there's going to be a loss against one of those three teams that we shouldn't lose to that I said earlier.
It'll be an 11 a.m. It'll be a noon game on the road. If there's a noon game on the road, beware.
I believe that is the Mississippi State game.
No, I think it's at
stupid cowbell.
I'm going to that game. I think it's at 2:30.
Okay. Then the other possibility is South Carolina.
Game? South Carolina's the one I'm worried about.
Yeah. Which is fair. South Carolina has looked decent if they have their quarterback.
And he's back this week, so.
Yeah, so. All right, we'll wrap it up now, but last thing, is Clemson good?
Clemson is good.
Clemson good?
Good. I still think they'll drop a weird one.
You can get Clemson at plus 150 right now to make the playoffs.
I think they're.
Oh, I would take.
They don't play Miami. They play them in the ACC championship. If they're 10 or 11-1 going to the ACC championship, they're probably in. Because they're going to be trying to get 2 ACC teams in there probably.
Yeah.
I mean, out of 12, yeah. I mean, Clemson plays Florida State, Wake Forest, Virginia, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Pitt, the Citadel, and South Carolina.
Who's the Citadel?
I mean, they could definitely lose to South Carolina, rivalry game, but it's at home.
One to worry about. But some road game, they do it too. On some road game, they'll end up dropping it.
It's going to be Florida State or Virginia Tech. They play at Florida State this weekend, so that'll be the one to watch out for. But I mean, if they make it to the ACC championship game without losing a game out of that, they're in for sure.
Yeah.
Their brand would get them in. Just like they could lose by 30 in the ACC championship game, they would still get put in the playoffs.
Well, I think that'd be a situation where it'd be Miami, Clemson, and they're both already in, pretty much. So there's nothing for.
I think most people aren't like us, and they love Dabo for some reason.
No, I think most people hate Dabo.
Really?
I think you misread Dabo.
All right, and the team that you want to bet to make the playoff that no one's talking about is my team, which unfortunately they don't play this week, so I can't bet on them. The BYU Storm and Mormons.
They may not lose a game either.
That are at plus 1,100 right now to make the playoff. They're currently undefeated in the Wild West that is the Big 12.
They play Texas Tech this week.
They play Arizona this week.
Arizona, who's actually somewhat decent.
Sometimes, but sometimes they're terrible. They play Arizona at home, Oklahoma State at home, and Oklahoma State forgot how to run the football.
Yeah.
Ollie Gordon should have went pro last year.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
Is Mike Gundy done? Will they fire him?
I don't know if they can fire
I don't
him.
know. He is a man. He is 40.
Yeah, he's been there.
They play at Utah, but who knows if Cam Rising can actually play.
He's the biggest bust in college football this year. He's probably getting paid $1 million.
Like, I could see BYU just easily walking their way undefeated through the rest of this schedule.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the question.
So I think at plus 1,100, that's good value.
They'll probably, common logic tells me they'll probably drop one too, but even if they drop one, they're probably still in.
I mean, does the Big 12 do a Big 12 championship? So all they got to do is make it into the dance.
Yeah, they
Can
do.
Cam Rising play next year?
No, there's no way.
Even if he sits out the rest of the year?
Yeah, he's already redshirted though. He redshirted at Texas.
I don't know. He's gonna have his 30th birthday in college though.
That's creepy. Not a fan of that.
Got to be close. Well, Oklahoma State's quarterback is almost 28.
Not a fan of that either.
Yeah.
That's not even something to think about. Like, that those are just creepy guys that want to stay on campus for the young women, which is gross.
At some point, get a job. Just go get a job.
Go sell insurance.
You'll have a job doing something.
This is their glory days, though.
That's true. They could throw that football over those mountains over there. All right, let's wrap it up for this episode. This is the part of the podcast where we talk about gambling. Please gamble responsibly. It's not great in the gambling streets, but you know what? This week wasn't too bad. I think all of us were positive, actually, so that's good. Go team.
No, I was 1 and 2.
Oh, all of us but Shane were positive. Go team. Our standings at the moment, Jonathan is currently in first place at 8-7, has a positive record. Good for him. He had a perfect week last week, so good for him. Blake is currently in second place with 7 wins and 8 losses, so just a 1 game back. I'm 6 wins, 9 losses, so 2 games back, and then Shane's got 4 wins and 10 losses and a push.
I got you all right where I want you.
Yeah, I'm looking out for you. We talk about it every week, and it just keeps happening. If you're betting on the NFL, those dogs are barking.
Yep.
I think so far in the NFL, we are now that underdogs that are 6.5 point dogs or more are 16-3, and they're like 10 and they've won like 10 of them outright, which is insane. I think all of them covered last week, except for the Patriots did not cover against the 49ers. But the Chargers covered, and there was another game, and I can't remember who it was, but they also covered. So be careful on the NFL, or just bet the dogs. They're probably going to win.
Well, don't bet the Bills as a dog.
Do not bet the Bills as a dog. They got smacked in the mouth by Derrick Henry on repeat. All right, but our picks for this week. We got a couple of us going on where we had the same thinking, but we also got a couple battles this weekend. So I'm taking the Mizzou Tigers +2 in College Station. I am also taking the Saints +5.5 at Arrowhead. I am completely doing the emotional gamble, but also I think that Missouri and the Saints will win those games outright. So why not take them as a dog? And then I am going against my principles, and I am going to bet on the Washington Commanders this week, which is just so bold. It's the rat line of the week, and I'm falling for it. There's no reason why the Washington Commanders should not absolutely obliterate the Cleveland Browns at home, but who knows? The game that I am against somebody with is Jonathan, and true Jonathan fashion, is taking the Aggies at -2 at home. He's also taking Boston College +1. I don't know who they're playing, but he's taking them +1. And then he is taking the Bucks +1.5 against the Falcons on Thursday Night Football.
The swag surf dirty birds.
Swag serve Dirty Birds who do not throw the ball to Kyle Pitts again. I believe Blake was also no, someone else was on the Bucks.
I've got
Shane
the
also on
Bucks.
the Bucks plus 1.5.
Yep.
Also taking the Colts plus 3 as they venture down to Jacksonville, where they have not won in many, many years, but you don't have to win at plus 3. You just got to cover. And you know what we say here on the Football is King podcast. Good teams win, but great teams cover. And then he also has Ole Miss minus 9.5 on the road in South Carolina.
The bounce
And
back.
The
bounce back.
Yeah, bounce back week. And then Blake's got the Buffalo Bills minus 1 traveling down to Houston. Something's wrong with the Texans. Anyone else think something's wrong with the Texans?
Something's a little off.
Something is a little off. We'll talk about it on tomorrow's episode, so tune in. If you're still listening at this point, kudos. See you tomorrow for the NFL podcast. He's also taken the New England Patriots minus 1. How the Patriots are favored in a football game right now is beyond me because the Dolphins are that bad.
That's why you got to take it.
Yeah, and then he's also on Boston College plus 1. Bill O'Brien might be the best coach in college football. Who knows? Probably not, but he could be. All right, we appreciate y'all listening in this week. That will do it for the college football episode. As we just said, we'll be on for the NFL episode tomorrow, where we will recap all things week 4 and preview week 5. We hope to see you there. Thank you for listening and make good choices. We'll see you next time.